And we're starting. Hi everyone, and we start. Guys, I finally set this up, and today we're starting. Just setting the last thing up. I'm very sorry. Yes, and we're finally starting the part one of the Billionaire Ignition Masterclass. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Let's go. So, hi everyone. This five-part masterclass is specifically for. I want to put down some basics so that I don't waste anyone's times and everybody knows what this is for and what is this about and why is this for and what all we're going to be covering in this video. Hi, I won't be replying much to chat right now, but because this will be purely information and gold, so try to take as much as you can in, and let's get ready for a roll. Let's go. So, hi everyone. This is a five-part masterclass that I'll be doing almost daily on my streams for around 5 to 6 hours. This five-part masterclass will have five parts in it, as it says. This five-part masterclass is called the Billionaire Ignition Masterclass because we are trying to ascend to the greatest heights, trying to live our greatest dream lives possible, and in this we do that. Who is this masterclass for? I want to be extremely clear so that I don't waste. So by the way, this is my screen where I'm looking. So I'm sorry if I don't look here, but this masterclass. Who is this for? This masterclass is specifically for driven, ultra high agency, super successful people. If you're super successful right now, if you're making bucks, if you're shredded, if you're living your dream life, but you still have the drive to do more, still have the drive, still have the agency to bring more of yourself out on the table, it's for you guys. Secondly, it's for the driven, ultra high agency people who are not successful, but they're trying their best, but they're aspiring to become the greatest version of themselves, where they're trying to become to live their greatest dream lives. It's for them. So it's for two kinds of people only: the ultra successful, driven, ultra high agency successful people, and driven, ultra high agency not so successful people aspiring to live their greatest life. So if you're one of them, let's start. So this masterclass is supposed to take you from a 0 to 100, from your agency to living your absolute greatest dream life. Why am I doing this? Because I was the one who needed this my entire life. I've been asking questions my entire life. I've been asking people, leaders, mentors, elders, everyone how to live my dream life, but nobody could give the answer to it until I met Bob Proctor, Raj Vasugi, and Neville Goddard's work, when I finally got my answers. And this is a masterclass. This is the type of masterclass that saved me from literally a suicide and then took me to literally having my dream life, having the most amazing mindset in the world, living my absolute most successful life, especially from my brain to the world, the way I'm living. So this is what I needed the most in the world. So this is what I want to give back to the world, and I want to specify that this is purely for high agency people. This is not for anyone who is. This is not random. This is going to be extremely important information meant for extremely specific people. So make sure that you are the category of people who wants to consume this information and then consume it. So yes, this masterclass is supposed to take you from zero, from scratch, to living your absolute dream life, all the mindsets that you need, everything about the world that you need to understand, everything about you that you need to understand, every greatest, highest mental frameworks you need to have to make it an extremely effortless, elegant, graceful, easy process for you. How do we do that? From in this masterclass, we'll go from drive in agency to actual results. We'll try to bring about actual results in your life that you need the most, that you want the most, that you dream of the most, through the greatest timeless philosophical understanding of the world and highest mental frameworks to operate from. So this part is specifically, this stream is going to be about the this part is going to be about the truth and its power. So this is the part one. In this stream I'll just be talking about the part one, And this is my first stream, so it won't be perfect, so don't expect perfection from me. I have not written many notes. I've just written some in introduction, which I'm trying to take inspiration from and saying this. So bear with me, all right? But the information that you'll get here will be extremely important, extremely golden. So I bet you it'll be worth your time. So this is the part one specifically of the stream of the masterclass. This part one, I've named it as your truth, your infinite power, and how to use it. So this part one of this masterclass will be about your truth, you, your truth, your infinite power, and how you can use it to live your greatest life possible. This is what we'll be discussing in the next 40 to 60 minutes. As you can see, there are three parts to this first part as well, which is simply first knowing your truth, who exactly you are, self-realization, which is derived from Gita, non-duality, and the knowledge of awareness, which is my most favorite topic in the world. And think, if you want to live your absolute great dream life, this is the absolute base that you need. Without this base, it is very difficult to build a skyscraper over it. Understand this stream, know this stream as a base that you need to build 100-story building over it. This is going to be the most important, crucial information that you'll ever get on the internet. I'm telling you, I've read Gita over 1,000 times to get it. I've read Bible, I've read Quran, I've read the books of Sikhs. I've literally read every philosophical book to get to this conclusion, to get to this information, and I'm here to give it to you. So just know that this first part is going to be the first part of the first part, knowing who you are, self-realization part of this whole 5 day, not 5 day, but 1 day, 5 part masterclass is going to be the most important piece of information that you'll ever hear. This is supposed to liberate you before you start building, because here I'm reading Bible right now as I'm watching live. I love it. This part is supposed to liberate you so that you do not chase your dreams for out of an insecurity, because my entire life I had chased success. I've been a driven person all my life, but I had chased it from a place of insecurity, from a place of lack. That is what I do not want for you guys, because it is a very painful journey. It hurts from inside. It pins from inside. It is aching. It is difficult to pursue success from insecurity. So what we want to establish in this video is that we pursue our greatest dreams, but we do that from a place of completeness. This will be about the first part, knowing who you are, self-realization part of the masterclass. Second part will be something that is not written in Gita, my favorite book in the world, which I learned from actually Bible and the Western philosophy and the New Thought philosophy especially, which will talk about how this thing is not just for liberation, your self-realization, but it is also for you to understand that it is your power. It is not just something that you liberate yourself with. It is something that you wield in your hand as your greatest powerful weapon in the world. And third part of this masterclass will be about using this power, about how to use it, using this power to create the dream life that you want. So this is where we start. I've given you the basics, and now we'll delve into the deeper part of the story, deeper part of the masterclass, and I will use a window to explain it to you guys. This is where I'll draw things a bit, and I'll draw as I explain you. I think if I could place my, yeah, this is good, right? So the question of this masterclass that I want you to think about, that we will be answering in this video is, let me write it down here, the most integral thing that we're talking about here: who are you? If we don't know this, oh, I did something, guys. Okay. Who are you? And why do we, I wrote, why are you? Who are you? We need to know this because everything is about you, guys. Everything is about you. But if you don't know who you are, we can really not move on. You want to be successful, but who are you? If you do not know this part, the window should become bigger and you should smaller for clarity. Oh, 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 that's a great idea. Thank you, my man, thank you. That was very helpful. Let me try to bring my screen up front. Wow, this was a golden idea. Right, so I hope my video isn't too small. Your face should be small and the screen share should be bigger. Yeah, right. It took me a long time to learn this, to be honest, this whole setup. So we will start coming back to the masterclass. We'll start with who are you? Because if we do not understand who you are, who we are, who am I as an individual, then how can we really move on? See, one small thing. This frame is perfect. Bear with me, bear with me. It's my first stream. It's my first stream. Right, so the first part, so this is the Billionaire Ignition Masterclass. Billionaire Ignition Masterclass. Part 1. And we are starting this with who are you? Why? Because this is about you. So why do we need to understand this? Guys, listen. As long as you think that you are X, you are this person X, and X wants this, that is your dream. This is a normal situation. If you try to become successful, if you try to see great things in life, this is where you start. And I'll tell you where this goes wrong and why I've put it in the starting of the masterclass and why this is so important is because whenever you say that you are X and you want this dream, you make this situation that you are incomplete and you need this to complete yourself, to make you whole. Now, why this concept is totally flawed is because the second you say you want this dream, and you say, and you reaffirm to yourself that you are incomplete. Now this creates a hole in you. As long as this hole is here, you will feel infinitely anxious, afraid and scared while you're on the journey to get this thing. There's nothing wrong with insecurity. Sometimes insecurity leads to some great realizations, but when you're trying to pursue a journey of, let's say, 1,000 days, like I'm doing, to pursue $100 million to buy my own Bugatti Tourbillon, if I start here, try to understand when the bigger thing you go for, the bigger the hole become, the smaller that you become. So my situation would be like this, and I would need this to complete myself. And now this is a very bad place to be. If I reaffirm every single day, I want this, I keep saying I'm smaller, and I would need that to complete myself. Right? We don't want that. What we want is that, how do I rub this eraser? Nope. What we want There it is. I'll just go to the side, okay? As I said, this is my first stream. Bear with me, guys. Information is cool, but the implementation, execution will take some seconds getting used to. So, this is where my screen is. So, this is where I'll not draw. So, what we want to do is we want to first establish that we are whole. And what we want is just a game. What we want is an external pursuit of expression. Of expression that we want to go to. Oh my god, this is a bit difficult. Sorry. Coming to the most important part, how do we do that? How do we recognize who we are, right? How we do that is simply by asking ourselves who we are. Now, this is where it gets super interesting. When I learned this for the first time, this was most interesting for me. This is what you learn in Gita. This is what you learn in the highest scriptural philosophical knowledge of India, which is literally famous throughout the world. If you don't think that I'm speaking this, think of it as the most important philosophical knowledge ever discovered by Indian ancient philosophers. And this is something that even people like Frederick, Nikola Tesla, Albert Einstein, all the quantum physicists also talk about. So this is not some joke thing. This is not something that I've made by myself. This is the truth of life. This is your truth. This is the truth of, this is the metaphysical truth of life, and this is the closest I've come to figuring out the greatest, the most truest thing, truest worldview that we can have for the world. What is it? It's simply we come down to it by simply asking who we are. So what happens when I ask someone who they are? What do they answer? They answer they are Bharat. But let's say I'll answer I am Bharat. But am I really Bharat? What we'll do is we'll try to peel the layers like of an onion through this program. So that's what we'll do. So we'll ask ourselves, who are we? And the person will answer for the in the first go, I am Bharat. But are you really Bharat? Bharat was just a name given to you at birth. I could be named, especially I was named 3 names. I was named Bharat in my birth certificate. There's also Dharmender, and there's also Akash that I was in school. I've had 3 names. So I'm not just my name. It was a name given to me, and it can change any single moment. So who are you? You're not just Bharat. There is more to you. There is more to you than just Bharat. So we first cross out that we are not just a name. There is something more. We peel the onion even more. So people get serious. People are like, oh, alright, I am a man. I'm a man. I'm a human. I'm 24 years old. That's how I would say, right? I'm like a human. And I'm 24 years old. Now, you need to realize that again, 24 years is simply the time you have lived in this world. You were also 17 years old, you were also 18 years old, you were also 30 years, you'll also be 30 years old, 70 years old, and you'll eventually die as well. So you're not just an age either. And about being human, that is a different topic, but what is a human? That is what I'm talking about, right? Who are you? What is a human actually? How do you define it? So, third layer. People come to the third layer and they say they are their career. What is a career? They'll say, I'm a engineer. I am a doctor. Or anything like that, right? Let me draw this thing again. I don't have to draw in this area. I'm an engineer, but are you really? You were a student some time back. You're now an engineer. You could be something else tomorrow. You're not just your career. You have a career. You are not a career. You have a career which can change any second of the day. It does not define you. It is just something that you are doing currently. It's a title given to you. And who gave that title? Boss is made make those titles up. We are not just a career, we're something more than that, right? And it is changeable. The biggest point is that it is passing. It is not all that we are, because we were not born like that. We It's just something that we have currently in the current time frame. We'll not have this for forever. It's just something there, and we are exercising it for a small period of time. Then people come down and then say that I am this body. I'm this body. And then we talk about, are you really this body? Because this body that I have right now, 24 years old, 5 foot 8, this is literally just a kid and a sperm a very long time back, right? We are cells. We're simply cells that are multiplying one by one, one by one, one by. All of our cells die within 5 years, right? You know that, right? Most of our cells die and replace a new in 5 to 20 years, even the most important cells. So everything that we have in this body is completely changing all the time. It's not permanent. Nothing is permanent. This body was this small, it's this big now, and it'll die off. It is not all that we are. It's just a state of changing matter. Currently we are expressing ourselves through this body, and whenever we say body, we also say that it is my body. But who is this my? It is my body. But my hand could cut off and it would still be my body, and now this would not be my body. So this is not my body either. So who is this owner of this body? Whose body is this? Right? So this is how we disqualify that we are not this body either. Then we say that we are our mind. In most philosophical understanding, we come down to this conclusion that we are our body mind. But mind is basically movement of mental thoughts. Movement of thoughts is defined to as mind. Why we are not a mind is simply because it is also again a temporary movement. Happiness arises in you and dies in you. I was happy, I was feeling happiness, I was feeling sadness, I was feeling this, feeling that, I was thinking this, thinking that. All of these things, they arise somewhere and they died somewhere. This movement is called mind. But the whole fact that it is always arising and dying simply states that this is not all we are. And this is one of the greatest breakthroughs that you make when you understand this, is because when people say I am happy, we need to ask ourselves, are we happiness? When I say I am happy, it means I'm saying I am this emotion. But am I this emotion? Because I was literally sad 10 minutes ago, I was literally neutral 10 minutes after. So how can you define your existence as an emotion? So this whole concept of saying I am this is a flawed concept, and it hurts people. When people do attach themselves to certain emotions and certain qualities, identities, it hurts them only because they have to leave it 5 to 10 minutes later. And it's a subtle thing, but it happens. So we have just concluded that we are not a name, we are not our age, we're not a career, we're not human, as in we're not a body, we're not a body, we're not a mind, we're not our emotions. Then you come to the question, who are you? Who are you then? This. especially in Indian philosophy and Indian history. This is what they mean by enlightenment. If you're interested, you can get enlightened right now, and this enlightenment will be so great. You'll be freed for your entire life, never ever ever to feel sad again, restless again. This is the greatest possible knowledge that you can get in this world. This is the highest knowledge that you can get in this world. Trust me. Trust me when I say this. Because when I got this, I literally got liberated. So after all of this, right? Can you see my mouse? Yes. After all of this, you come to a question: who are you if you're not all of these things? Then we come to a conclusion that what we are is the awareness behind all of it. Who are we? We are the infinite, never ending, ineffable, all powerful, omnipresent awareness in which all of this happens. How? I'll explain easily again. This concept is shown like this. When I got this, end of the world. Nothing, no greater concept that exists in the world. What did we say? We are Bharat. Bharat was a name given to us that could change any single moment. What if we are our age? Age is 24. Bharat. Age is 24. It'll be over 24. I'll be 25 very soon. 25 soon. We said, what did we say? We are our career. We said we are our career. But it is there for a moment, it will change. What if we say? And guys, stick to it, because I'm telling you, this will give you infinite power to succeed. This is going to give you the infinite power that you seek, infinite liberation that you need to build as many story building as you want on top without ever feeling anxious, without ever feeling fearful. Like, this is infinite liberation. So stick to it. This is extremely practical knowledge. This is not some woo woo. This is extremely practical. We said we are our body mind. Up till now we were attached that we are sexy, we are beautiful, with this, we're just this body. But we just realized that this body mind is also temporary, it's there, it'll end. Then we said we are our thoughts. Body, thoughts. Thoughts I'm writing as a description of mind. Mind is movement of mental thoughts. Movement in mental area, movement of mental thoughts, feelings. There are thoughts, but we realize the thought has an origin and an end. Then we said we are our feelings. Second part of mind. I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm anxious, I'm restless, I'm this, I'm that. This is where we come to the most important part. Where does all of this happen? If I say that you're not this, then I'm delusional. Then I'm delusional as well, right? If I say you're not all of these things, then I'm delusional as well, because you are all of these things as well. I'm not saying you're not these things as well. You are all this, because how could you say that you're all this? Because if this did not exist, this exists. In a small time frame, it exists. But where does this all happen? Like, how do we get liberated from this? You see, this, what all we said that we are, in Indian literature, in Indian greatest philosophy, non-dual philosophy, is called ego. Ego is not you being pride. Ego is not you being rude. Ego is not having some selfish idea of yourself. Ego is everything that you are, that you think you are, when you're ignorant. When you just understand this, that all of this that happened it happened on a plane of existence, and that itself is infinite, ineffable, untouchable, undriable, unwettable, eternal, all powerful, omnipowerful, which other people call God. All spiritual people try to become conscious, etc. I want to be conscious, etc. All this happens in a plane of existence that is called awareness. This line, just like when a movie is playing, there's a white background on the back, and then there are all of the scenes that are happening on it. All of the scenes are passing, but there's a white screen that stays always just as it is. Even if someone kills anyone in this, doesn't matter, white screen never gets affected. White screen is infinite, eternal, godlike, omnipotent. It is always there. When you realize this, you get liberated. This is Gyan Yoga. This is called Gyan Yoga in Gita, where a person tries to attain enlightenment through simple questioning his existence. There are different ways you get enlightened in Indian spirituality, and the most highest way in that is Gyan Yoga, knowledge yoga, unity with knowledge. Yoga is simply knowledge. Yoga is simply unity. Knowledge is basically knowledge. Knowledge is referred to as self-knowledge in Gita. So when you live established in this knowledge, that is called living in, that is called yoga in Gita. Living established in this knowledge, in this equanimity of awareness. Why this is great is because now you've just freed yourself from all of this. Now you are Bharat, now you are 24, now you are engineer, now you are your physical body, now you are happy, now you are sad, now you are thinking, now you are not thinking, but all of this doesn't define who you are. Now you just understand that this is who am I? I'm the awareness. Who is Bharat? Bharat is. I am not Bharat, Bharat is. And even deeper when we go, we realize that without this awareness, this does not exist, and this awareness is needed to give existence to Bharat. Without this awareness, this Bharat never existed. If there was no awareness of Bharat, Bharat would not be. Bharat is. Isness of things is given by awareness. Isness of things, amness of things, this amness of I am Bharat is awareness. This isness of things is pure awareness. And we go even further in non-dual philosophy in understanding that this and this are one. I'll draw so that you can understand it better with the same colors. When we go even deeper, this is not for everyone, but this is for the ultra driven, ultra high agency people who want to, ultra truth seekers. If you want to understand even the deeper truth, you understand that this and this are one thing, which gives us the non-dual philosophy, which says there are no two things, there is only one. How are this and this same? First of all, this does not exist without awareness. If there is no screen, you cannot project the matter anywhere. You cannot project your name, identity, body anywhere. Everything has to exist in it. And when you understand the truth of it, you understand that this part is literally even made of this part. Now, how do we understand that? This is the last thing that I'll be talking about this topic. So, if you are interested, be my guest. How do we understand that? We simply understand that through an example of a dream. When you are sleeping, When you are sleeping, you dream of a dream. You dream of a dream, right? When you are in the dream, you see your girlfriend at times. I'm making her boobs and a bikini. You see your girlfriend at times. You see yourself falling from a cliff. You see beautiful landscapes. You smell things. And when you are in your dream, when you see all of these things, you totally believe that they are real. You can literally touch your girlfriend's boobs. You can literally touch people. You can literally feel things. When you fall from a cliff, you feel like you are dying. You feel the fear. You feel the feelings. Remember all the things that made you feel the feelings. You are a person there. You can see yourself. You have a job there. You see actual world, real world. You feel gravity. You feel fear of falling from heights. You feel fear of someone killing you. You feel love towards your girlfriend. You feel aroused when you see explicit things in your dream. Do all of that, and then you wake up. Then you wake up. Jesus, this looks so bad. Then you wake up, and when you wake up, you realize that all of it was just a dream, and it is not anymore. It is not anymore. So, all the things that you thought were real, that you could touch, that you could smell, you could fear, you could imagine, you could hear, all of this was not real. But was it really not real? It was real because you felt fear. If it was not real, you wouldn't feel any fear or excitement or arousal, right? It was real. But it came to an end the second you woke up. Didn't it? It did come to an end. Where was that world? There were atoms in that world. You can scientifically prove that. People give arguments that this world is scientifically proven, this is so big, blah blah blah. It's scientifically proven. But at that time, it was real, and now it has come to an end. What was it made of? Scientists would say this world is made of atoms, but the mystics, the philosophers of long past in Indian philosophy, they said that all of this is made of awareness. It's just the way this whole dream, which felt completely real, where you felt everything, when you wake up, you realize it was just made of mind stuff. It was not made of atoms. There was no height, there was no gravity, there was no time. It was purely imagination. This is the conduit to going to the second part of this masterclass. It was purely imagination. It was purely mind stuff. That was not a real world. That was mind stuff. A world made of mind. Movement of mental thoughts. Remember, made of literally mind stuff. Made of imagination. Imagination is a good way to call it. When you understand this, you realize this whole world is also made of awareness. It's not made of atoms, molecules. Yes, there is atoms, molecules, but where are those molecules? Where are those atoms? If you want a quantum physics explanation for it, the quantum physics that the scientific explanation of it, you need to realize that the greatest discovery that scientists have done so far, they've realized that the smallest particle that we know of is an atom. Atom is made of protons, electrons, neutrons. Neutrons even are made of something called quants. This is a molecule. The neutrons, protons, and this proton is made of quants. The smallest particle that we have yet understood as the basic forming particle of the world is quants. What is quant? And this is very interesting as well. I'll do it in the same slide. What is quant? Quant is vibration simply vibration in a quantum field. What is a quantum field? Quantum field is nothingness. Nothingness. This is science. You all science geeks that want to argue back. Quantum field is something that exists everywhere, has no matter, shape, or form. When this quantum field vibrates in itself, it forms quants, which forms protons, neutrons, which form atoms, atoms forms molecules, molecules forms objects, matter, and the life that we perceive of. So at the very bottom of everything, we are simply nothingness vibrating in nothingness. As we discussed earlier, awareness, experiencing awareness as forms. Now this is the liberation point of view. Some of you success geeks might not be too interested in this. Now we see how this gives us infinite power. This is something that you all might be interested in, right? Your infinite power. Now, when we understand that we are awareness, and remember, as I talked about earlier, awareness can also be referred to as imagination. This is the second part, right? This is what I wanted to cover in the second part of the masterclass. The second part was how it makes you emotionally master, how it gives you emotional mastery. Sorry, we'll come back to this in a second. The first part of understanding that your awareness, power of awareness. Up till now, we have to summarize, we have understood that we are not our body, mind, career, age, or name. We are the plane on which everything comes and goes. We are awareness. Who are you? You are awareness. Now we are understanding the power of awareness, how this is your infinite power, how this liberates you. This gives you the infinite power to do anything and everything that you want in life. It gives us this power in two ways. Number one, emotional mastery. I think I should use this more. Emotional mastery. You all need to understand that if you have heard this masterclass so far, you have become the top 0.00001% rare greatest individuals in the world if you internalize this information. Why? Because now you have emotional mastery. Now nothing in this world can make you angry, sad, excited, gain your favor, make you hate someone. Why? Because you've just realized that whenever you say I am happiness, you are not that happiness, you are the awareness in which that happiness is happening. Just this small gap for my visual learners, just this small gap between your emotions and feelings. Jesus, my writing is so, this thing with which I'm writing is bad. Emotions This was your emotions and feelings. This was awareness. Just this small gap, just this small gap is your infinite power. How is this infinite power? Up till now, whenever you said you are happiness, you are happy, you are, I'll say it again. This small gap, because I want to clip it. This this small gap between you realizing your awareness and your emotions. This is the greatest gap. This gives you infinite power. This is your infinite power. Why? Because up till now, when you said you are happy, you are sad, you are restless, you are anxious, you are fearful, you said that you are this wave. But when you realize that you are not a wave, you are the plane of existence on which this wave is happening, you realize that this gap between I am happy to I am awareness, this happiness is happening. This happiness is happening. It will come and it will go. Now nobody can control you. Now you cannot hate anything. Now nobody can impress you beyond your control. Now they cannot define you. You have become infinite. Up until now, when you said I'm happy, you said I define my existence as happiness. And what happens? 10 minutes later, you lose that happiness, and now you feel sad. Why am I not happy anymore? Because you were never happiness. Happiness was just there for a small period of time, and it passed away. You have now learned this. Now nobody can do anything to you. You are not sad. When you're feeling sad, when real life example, I'm feeling very sad, feeling very heavy. I'm feeling very bad. My body is shrinking. I don't know what to do in my life. I don't know what to do next. I'm scared. This, this, this I separate myself from, and I say this heaviness is there. I'm not ignoring, I'm not devaluing it. I'm not saying that it does not exist. This heaviness exists. But this heaviness is a wave passing on me. This heaviness is a wave passing on me. This is not all that I am. This is just there. Now I can see it. Now I can see it. This is why in Indian philosophy it says the one who can see is wise. When you can see that it is there and it is not all that you are, now you have the choice. Now you have the freedom to choose if you want to feel that or not. You might think I'm excited for nothing, but this is the greatest, highest knowledge in the world. Highest knowledge in the world. Now that you can see, you have the choice to choose whether you want to indulge in this heavy feeling or you want to figure out a solution for it. Or you want to feel the heaviness without being attached to it and just let it pass. It's when you attach yourself to this small wave and you say this is all that you were, that is the cause of all depression, all sadness, all lingering attachment, all lingering pain. Man, I was this and this happened. You were that. That is over. Now you are something new. Do something new with your life. So what it gives us? Power of awareness, power of this infinite power of realizing who you are gives you emotional mastery. Now you can never ever be ruled by an emotion. You can see there is an emotion. Whenever you see happiness, you have the choice to indulge in that happiness, and you have the choice to just ignore that happiness and live a normal life thereon. Alright, this is the first thing that it gives. I wish I could do this on live as well, Instagram live as well, man. Like, this is great information. I'll just go live from my phone. I know how to connect this live from my this Prism software, but this is amazing. So now I'm going live on Instagram as well. I hope this happens. And now we will talk about, hi guys, say hi to my Instagram people. What we're talking about is simply the power of awareness, knowing who you are. We've covered up till now who are we. We have realized that. Hi guys. So what have we done up till now? We have I'll summarize this for Instagram audience as well and the YouTube stream as well. I'm streaming on YouTube, guys. If you want to join the YouTube, it'll be amazing. But there's a whole explanation going on. I'm halfway in the stream, so if you're interested in the main thing, just join the stream. I'm sorry, stream people. I'm very very sorry. I'll continue here. So what we have understood up till now for you guys and for these guys, what you've understood is that we are not our body mind. We are not a name. Our name is a passing thing. I'm Bharat. I could be named anything else. I'm not my age. My age is 24. It was something else before. I'm not my career alone. Career is something that I have and it can change any second. Who are we? I'm not my name. I'm not my age. I'm not my career. Then we come to I'm not my body. I could say I'm this physical body, but I'm not this physical body alone. I'm more than this physical body. What am I? Who am I? I'm not this body. We finalize if this hand could cut off right now, I would still stay intact. This was my hand before and now it won't be my hand. This won't define me. I am my mind, I am my thoughts, I am my feelings, I am my mind. What is mind? Mind is a movement of mental thoughts. Are we our mind? All of our thoughts that we have, they arise and die in somewhere. We are not our mind or feelings or emotions either. They are temporary things. So then after realizing all of this, we came to a conclusion that who we are is pure awareness. We are that plane of infinite existence where all of these things happened. And now we're on the second part of the masterclass where we talk about what power does this give us. A lot of Indian mystics stop here. They think that they've now gotten liberation and that they get stuck again because they do not realize that this is not just a liberation thing. It is the most powerful weapon that you can wield in your hands. You can wield in your hands because of these 2 points. The second part of the masterclass that we're talking about. First thing that power of awareness gives you, we have discussed, is emotional mastery. Up till now, when we were happy, sad, restless, anxious, excited, in love, hating someone, we used to think we are that. We used to say, I am happy, I am sad, I am restless, I am anxious. When we do that, we just realize that we identified with the thing that is temporary, that is a wave, that is passing. And when we did that, we suffered because 10 minutes later, an hour later, the day later, we were not that anymore. And if we said that I was this and now this happened, we forever get stuck in a past movie frame that was supposed to pass in the screen of awareness, as you talked from the screen example. So we are awareness. Now we have finally found that space between I am happiness to there is happiness. And when we find that space, Delhi Lewis is only come on my YouTube stream, man. It'll be amazing. When we find that space between our emotions and the truth of our being, that is our awareness, we realize that now we have the ability to see. We can see an emotion without being trapped by it. And while we're not trapped by it, we can literally do whatever we want, no matter amidst any chaos of the world, amidst any difficulty of the world. What is the second power of awareness? Second power of awareness is the most amazing power of awareness, because this is what I learned before even reading Gita, but that was amazing. Is that this awareness can also be interpreted as imagination. As I said, our dream that we dreamt of was made of mind stuff. What was mind stuff? It was an illusory thing that was there and now it has ended. But it was real. And what was mind stuff? Mind stuff can simply also be explained as imagination. We talk about imagination as our higher mental faculty, but we can literally, Neville Goddard used to say that imagination is God. Imagination is the Jesus Christ that we talk about. The imagination is you, is the true creative power. And as we discussed that all the things that we experience in the external world is literally awareness made manifest, imagination made manifest. it'll come to an end. It is, there are infinite similarities. This real life that we have is no different than the imagination that we have. Second power of awareness is realizing that you are awareness, and awareness is accessed by imagination, and imagination is the creative foundational power of all world. The whole world is imagination made manifest, awareness made manifest, consciousness made manifest, as we understood it through quants and quantum physics point of view as well. What does this give us? Now we have established we are not emotionally trapped by anything anymore. We are free. No matter what was happening in your life yesterday, no matter what business loss you experienced yesterday, no matter what relationship loss you experienced yesterday, the sadness of it that you're taking on to the next day, you've just emotionally freed yourself, and now you just said that I'm not that sadness anymore. That was there, it has passed. It was supposed to be there. Like, there's nothing that you can do, but that is not me. I have a life to live now. Either I can dwell on it and live it forever, or I can be free and I can say, okay, the sadness was there. I respected it. I felt it. And now I'm free. On to the next part of my life. Now you've emotionally freed yourself from anything. You do not stick to any identity, any emotion, any sadness, any greatness, any praise or blame. You're free from everything. Now you say, what do I do? This is a great place to be. This is the greatest place to be. If you reach here, if you attended this masterclass so far, if you reach this place, guys, we are here for an exciting adventure. Because when when we finally come to this point where we say, I am not this wave, these waves, I'm awareness, and you have found your space. I like the color. When you have found your freedom, space. Now for the first time in your life, you're not responding, you're not reacting anymore to life. You're not, no, he's in monitor. Now you're not, you can come to my YouTube stream, there I can see your chat. I'm sorry, I just wanted to give you guys an experience of what happens in the main masterclass. Now when you finally get this free space, now for the first time in your life, you're not reacting anymore. You're not fighting anymore with life. And this is an amazing place to be. For the first time in life, I am free. I'm not supposed to be something by 18. I'm not supposed to be something by 20. I'm not supposed to be something by 35. I'm not supposed to follow everything my wife says. I'm not supposed to even give my business clients that they want. You're truly free for the first time. For the first time, you're even amidst the most chaotic time of your life, you found freedom. You found freedom of just being. Even if you lose that business tomorrow, you're not afraid by it. You see there will be a loss. You can calculate if it's wise or not, but you're not attached to making it succeed. Then why do we work? Then what do we do? What do we do? Why do we work? And what do we do? Why do we work? And most importantly, what do we do? Love it, man, love it. Thank you for coming to the YouTube stream from the Instagram live. For the first time in our life, we are asking, what do we do? Okay, I already wrote that. What do we do and why do we do the work? Why do we work? Up till now, and we understand this by comparing it to how we were living before and how we are living now. Up till now, we were living in reaction mode. We were replying to life. We were fearful and restless, and we were just reverting back to life again and again. That was not a good place to be, right? We are constantly fighting life. Now, It does not mean that we leave the work. If we are fighting with life and we are working, doing great work, it doesn't mean work was bad. Now what we'll do, we will change the background where we come to the work from. First we were fighting the world, working by fighting the world. Now we are finally in a position where we create. Up till now we were reacting. For the first time in our life, we create. Creating is a great place to be. We are creators. Humans, the most powerful man made in the image of God, we are creators. We create. How do we do that? So up till now, we were fighting the world. Now we are in the place of creation. Why do we work? What do we do? Why do we work? Now when you realize you're free and no loss can affect you, no gain can inflate your ego, no loss can deflate your ego, what do? Now you live for expression. Now what's the point of life? And now we live for a dream. And why do I say that? Why do I say that is because no matter how free you are and what you realize, action is always happening. Action cannot be stopped. Just the way time cannot be stopped, your energy flowing in time, that is action, cannot be stopped either. You're always constantly acting. Up till now you were trapped in the world and you were acting as a reaction to the world. Now for the first time you act out of freedom. Now these actions that were constantly happening, they're not arising from chaos, they're arising from a creative power. They're arising from the realization that I am the most powerful person in the world and I have the hi Darren, I have the creation power, I have the creating power, I am imagination. Imagination is God. The whole world is imagination made manifest. Whole world is creation. Whole world is, I'm sorry, the screen. The whole world is basically awareness made manifest, consciousness made manifest. And when you realize that you are the founding power of this entire world, now you can create a life for yourself that you love. Now you can create a circumstance, a lifestyle that you love. And there is nothing with wanting a dream life for yourself. Why? Because as I said, action is constantly happening. Someone yesterday asked me, is it not selfish to want $100 million? And I was like, what will I do if I do not go after that dream? What happens, what you realize when you do not pursue your dreams? What you simply do, as I said, action is happening all the time. You simply engage in sense indulgence. There are only two things that you can do in life. Either you can live for your highest aspiration, expression is always happening. Either you can live for your highest aspiration, your dream, or you can live for something lower. And the worst, you can just drift and indulge in sense indulgence. And a person like you who is driven, who is ultra high agency, who is trying to see greatness from life, you don't want to work purely for external stimulus, external pleasure. You're greater than that. You can create things. And because you can create things, you can work for a reason bigger than just drifting. Bigger than just drifting is creation. What do you create? You create you. You create your nature's work. You work according to your true nature. Now, instead of reacting to life, instead of fighting with life, you work for the I'm streaming on YouTube, brother. It's a part 1 of the 5-part masterclass about your infinite power and how to use it. If you're interested, please come on YouTube. This is just a live so that I can also show the Instagram audience what is happening here, because I do not know how to combine two streams together. So yeah. So coming back to the topic, when you realize that action is always happening, expression is always happening, now we just get binary choices between either we can live our highest dreams, highest aspirations, or we can live something lower, or worst of all, we can just keep reacting to the external worlds and keep acting for sense indulgence, sense pleasures. We're greater than that. We can do better than that. Then what do? We look into ourselves. We look into ourselves and we ask, what do we want? And this is something I'll be asking a lot in the next few days as well. This is one of the most important questions that anybody can ever ask themselves, and something that you should be aware of. And this is what we'll cover in the goals part, and decision part of the masterclass. That's the third part of the masterclass. But this is what I want you to take from this masterclass. First, realize that your awareness, you're infinite, you're the most powerful thing in the world. This awareness gives you emotional control and the power to create. Third, with this imaginational power, you can create any circumstance for yourself. How do we do that? Which the third part I'll explain a bit more. It is 1 hour 7 minutes into the first part of the stream. I'll end it, first part of the masterclass, I'll end it in like 2-3 minutes more. How we use imagination is simply by using imagination. I've not explained the second part of the infinite power of you. First part was emotion mastery. Second part is infinite power to create. Why? How we can create the life of our dreams? We do that simply through imagine. As I said, when we imagined ourselves rubbing our hands in the imagination, when we imagine ourselves taking a step in imagination, all that was real, right? In our mind. Similarly, we can imagine our dream lives in our mind. And because the whole world is imagination made manifest, when you imagine your dream circumstances, they manifest in real life as well. It is something like, as I explained, quants are simply vibrations in the quantum field. Quantum field vibrating itself in a certain frequency makes quants, which makes matter. Similarly, everything is vibrating at a certain frequency. When they both vibrate at the same frequency, they come close to each other. Sometimes you even just create a whole new frequency, and when you persist in that frequency, a matter gets created. This is slightly metaphysical, but this works. So how do you achieve your dream life? How do you use this infinite power that you have? You simply do that by imagining your dream life in your realities, in your dreams, by imagining your dream life and sleeping into it, by imagining your dream life and living from there. And this is what this masterclass is also about. This is also one of the most important part of this masterclass. That is, we from this day onwards, if you attend this masterclass, when we have our dreams, we'll only live from the end. There is a difference between living for the goal, acting for the goal, and acting from the end. A person who is fit, who has abs, acts completely different than a fat person acts. You can see it very vividly anytime you meet a fat person or a person with abs. A person with abs will always know what he's eating and know the quantity of his foods and have at least basic awareness of how much he's eating. If he's eating more, he'll gain weight. If he's eating less, he'll lose weight. And he's conscious of it. He knows his weights. He exercises 3 times a day in the week. He walks his steps. He eats the right stuff. He trains. He makes programs for his training. He tracks his workouts. A fat person, whenever you see them in a restaurant, they'll be eating the most junk food out there. And interesting thing is, the fat person is always getting fatter. A lean person is always getting stronger or leaner. There's a difference. So there's a difference between acting for your goal and from the goal. How we use this infinite power is we imagine that we've already assumed that we have that goal and we act from the end. When you act from the end, you literally act with the habits of the person that have the thing that you desire the most. When you act with the habits of the person that has what you desire the most, you eventually attract his results. You'll eventually create his results because you do all the things that he is doing. But if you were working for that goal, if you're working towards that goal, it would be very difficult because you will constantly be fighting your current lifestyle for something that you don't think that you are. And ego, remember we talked about ego, that we think that we are. Ego is our whole identity right now. if we are a poor person, poor fat person in our mind, and we do the things of the rich person, there will always be friction, there will always be anxiety, there will always be stress. We don't want that. How do we eliminate that? Bob Proctor used to always say, we can never outrun a bad image, but we can always create one. So instead of fighting this past identity that we have for poor person, of an unsuccessful person, by creating a new image in our mind, in our imagination, and acting from there. How do we practice power of our infinite power of imagination? We imagine the life that we want to live, we feel it, we internalize it, we get on that frequency, and we persist in that imagination. We act according to that imagination, we act from the person, from our goal, from the end, like the person that we want to become, and we persist in that imagination. As we do that, a beautiful thing happens, that is, now you're not anymore chasing your dream life. Now the dream life does not exist away from you. This is your dream, and this is you, and this is your dream. This is the first scenario. Now this ends right away, and this beautifully concludes the non-dual philosophy as well. Now you're not working for your dreams, you're working as your dream. You become one with your dream. When you become one with your dream, all of the stress, tension, anxiety that you had before, it dies off. This is how you live your greatest dream life. This is how you exercise this infinite power that you have within you. And it is the greatest thing that you can ever exercise. Your imagination, the space between you and the world, these things are extremely important. Anybody who has ever been successful, there have only been two reasons behind them. Either they had an emotional trauma, they were hurt so much, somebody died in their family, and they had to take some big steps, make a successful life for themselves. Or the second, who had a dream and they persisted in this dream and they acted from the end. And we don't want to be the ones with the emotional trauma. It's difficult. We don't want the moms to die, right? We want the moms to live. We want to create a great life from fullness. As I said in the starting of the masterclass, we want to act from completeness, not from completeness. We are not incomplete. We are never starting from incompleteness and trying to get success, to complete ourselves, to feel successful. We are already successful. We are complete. Creation has ended. Anything that was, is, will be, already exists in this awareness. All you have to do is recognize your goal, use your power of imagination, use your higher faculties, use your infinite power, and live in alignment with that goal. Live in oneness with that goal. Live in unity with that goal. And when you do that, now you're living your dream life. This is one of the most important conclusions that you can take away. This is the aha moment that you can take away from this masterclass. When you live from the end, you've already started living your dream life. You do not wait 1,000 days to earn $100 million. You are earning $100 million right now. The only difference is you are doing it in your mind. There was an amazing saying. There was a beautiful saying. That amazing idea, that amazing dream that exists within the four walls of your mind, that surging dynamic, that great dream that exists in your mind, invisible to everyone in the world but you, is responsible for the greatest advancements of mankind. This is how we end this stream. Your dream that exists, that searching dynamic, that burning desire, that dream that exists inside your mind, invisible to everyone in the world but you, is responsible for the greatest advancement of mankind. Right, brothers? Did not have to build planes. It was just a dream that they had in their mind. Nobody saw it. Nobody believed them. Everybody opposed them. They had it in their mind that they will make it. They persisted in that. They tried again and again and again. And now we are flying in planes because of their invisible dream that was there in their mind. But they persisted in that. Similarly, you have a dream that is responsible for the greatest, that will be responsible for the greatest advancement for mankind. Me earning $100 million is going to liberate millions and hundreds of millions of people. That will lead to the greatest advancements of mankind. But if you do not trust it, you cannot start it. We'll end the stream with this beautiful quote. That searching dynamic, that beautiful dream in your mind, invisible to everyone in the world but you, is responsible for all great advancements in mankind. That is it, guys. That was the first part of the stream. I absolutely loved it. It was my first time ever. I might have made a lot of mistakes. I'm very sorry for that. Very sorry for taking your time drawing things. I'll be more crisp from the next time. I'll create a PowerPoint presentations that I don't have to draw everything. That'll make it easy for me to not take your time and give you the same information. Thank you, guys. I really respect you guys coming here. I really respect your time. I really respect the fact that you stayed here for so long. If you guys have any questions, you DM me on Instagram or comment. Not here. I see one question by Snowing C4 days, how to remove negativity from life. Brother, watch this stream again. Negativity. See, this is a beautiful example, right? This is a practical philosophy. Negativity is only there if you attach yourself to it. Negativity is just a wave. Just you. The second you see that it is not you, it does not exist anymore. There's also positivity in life. How do you remove positive? How did you remove positivity? You're asking me how to remove negativity from life. How did you remove positivity from life? The world did not stop having positivity. I'm a positive person right here. You're literally watching the most positive person on the entire planet, I guess. You did not remove positivity from your life, right? You stopped paying attention to positivity. You start paying attention to negativity. How do you remove negativity from life? Do not give your attention to it. Simple. If you are affected from it, you've just attached yourself to the negativity. If you just see that space, the negativity is there and it's not you, you can change your direction and apply it towards the positive frequency. When you do that, you're free. That was the first masterclass, guys. 1 hour 18 minutes. I really respect your guys' times. I really hope you become the most successful, the best, the greatest, and the most prosperous, happy, glowing, shining humans of your life. Any questions you have, you comment it to me in your in the YouTube comments of this stream, not here, because I'll host the fifth part of this stream will be about Q&A. So I will answer the question. I would love to answer the questions in the stream more, in the fifth part more. So that was the first part of the stream. Thank you guys for joining. I love you guys. See you in the next video. Bye. Peace.